An introduction to Tlingit sounds. This slideshow is designed to present the sounds in the Tlingit language for practicing and understanding how to read and write in Tlingit. We'll start with a look at where the sounds come from. We start at the front, the bilabial or labial area, and we move our way back towards the uvular area where some of the more difficult sounds are made for speakers of English. Starting with the vowels are fairly straightforward, so we'll move through them quickly. The most important things to remember are you have short vowels and long vowels. You have high tone and low tone, or no tone. The way that Tlingit handles these is very deliberate. Sometimes it's a matter of the verb form, sometimes it's a matter of the noun form, and sometimes it's just a matter of speaker preference or regional dialect type issues. So we'll start by moving through these, and then we'll talk about how they relate to one another. Ah, 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 eh, eh, a, eh, eh, a, eh, eh, e, e, eh, e, e, uh, uh, ooh, ooh, uh, ooh, ooh. Now we'll see the vowels that we just went through and how they can move from short to long, and how there may be a high tone or low tone version. So as you study the language, pay attention to both of those things, and as you're starting off, exaggerate them. So make the long ones quite long, make the short ones quite short, the low ones fairly low, and the high ones fairly high. It also helps to have some sort of gesture or movement, lifting your hand or doing something to show the high tone. That way you'll start to train your body to respond to what it sees and what it hears as well. So moving on, there's another category which we call diphthongs, which is, it's a vowel, but it's sort of a combination vowel. And so it's good to understand these as well. And so when we look at the Tlingit alphabet, we have a series of letters which would collectively make up a symbol. And you have pretty much one symbol, one sound. So if we pay attention to what we're seeing and what we're hearing, then as we encounter these words, we'll be able to read them. And as we hear these words, we'll be able to write them. These diphthongs would appear in both high and low tone, but we'll just look at the low tone versions. I, e, ow, ow, ew, ew, ooh, ooh. So looking at the diphthongs, they end in either a Y or a W. If it's a Y, you're sort of smiling at the end and your lips are tightening. And if it's a W, you're pursing your lips out and rounding them. Now we get to consonants, which are one of the more difficult parts of the language. It is tonal. You need to pay attention to the tonal portion of it. But the consonants are where the sounds are made. And differentiating between them can make a large difference in meaning. So we'll move through the consonants on their own, using a simple A sound as a vowel, either after or before the consonant, and then we'll move into some word examples. Again, starting from the front of the mouth, moving towards the back. Wa, wa, ma, ma, cha, 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 cha. This was our first pinched consonant. As we make these, we keep in mind that we're not using our lungs, but we're pushing the air out of our mouth, and we end up with a very hard sound. And the key to practice is making that sound connect to the following vowel. So instead of you would have and so it's just going to take practice if you've never done these before. Da, da, gla, gla, za, za, ja, ja. This sound is very important. You need to be able to move in and out of this sound. This is what we'd call an unvoiced L. So your tongue is in the same location as if you were going to make the L sound, like in la. But instead of la, you wouldn't voice. You'd have your tongue there right behind your teeth. That's where our tongue is. Relax the sides of your mouth and blow out. And you get sha, sha, sha. This sound is made by putting your tongue in that same position and basically squashing it with your mouth. Breathing out, pushing a little bit of air out without using your lungs. Some speakers would have sort of a rattle to it, like other speakers might not, and it would go, and that's a speaker preference thing, it seems to be. So whichever one is working for you, or that you hear from some of the speakers that you're working with, I would recommend emulating that. Na, na, sa, 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 sha, sha, ta, 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 kla, 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 ka, 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 ka. This sound is often confused for the pinched L. So the pinched L would have a longer drawn out sound, like la, la. And the TL would come out much faster. In addition, the pinched L comes out the sides of your mouth, and the pinched TL comes out the front. It has a bit more launch to it. Tsa, 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 ya, ya, ga, ga, ka, 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 ha, ha. So this one you can compare to when you're little and you make it sound like the wind, perhaps. Or as a friend of mine says, a cappuccino maker. So it's that scraping sound. It's very important to differentiate this from what we'll see later with the underline X. There's no guttural rattle going on with this. Ha, 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 ha. The sound is the exact same location as a K, K, H, except instead of a click, there's a blow through. You want to make sure you have plenty of saliva in your mouth to work through these sounds. K, 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 Kwa, 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 Ak, 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 Kwa, 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 Ak, 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 Ak. So the W at the end, if you've heard this, it's like blowing out with pursed lips. Not quite a whistle, but and so it's a bit of an unvoiced vowel there tacked on at the end. Hua, 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 ah, 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 hua, 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 ah, 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 ah. Now we move back to the uvular area, and we'll prepare ourselves for some of the more difficult sounds. Qa, 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 kha, 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 qua, 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 ak, 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 qua, 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 ak, 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 hua, 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 ach, 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 hua, 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 ach, 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 ach. Now to the glottal, which is further down, although not necessarily as difficult. The period you'll see, and it's not punctuation, it's a symbol. It would come in between two vowels typically, and it sounds like ha-eh. So it's a glottal stop, like when you say uh-oh, ha-eh, wa-eh. Those are the types of sounds, and we'll encounter some words later. Ha, ha. Next, we'll move on to practice words, but that'll be a separate slideshow. So give yourself a pat on the back. That's 14 minutes of Tlingit sound practice. So remember to drink lots of water and continue trying.